Yeah, I just feel like this episode, Erica was really reaching and digging and trying to really get us to feel it, and I just wasn't feeling it. I was very sudden to the whole thing. Cause
She
sudden
was
is not,
setting the stage
baby. The stage is
for
there is
part
no
two.
audience. The audience is about to. They walked out.
Save it, save it for the web show.
What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's time to lean in, bitch. We're here for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Danny and Jamie are here today, so it's gonna be probably better than the actual episode. we both, all three of us just finished watching the damn shit, and I would just say I was bored. I was bored.
Look,
I was bored. I was bored.
they can't all be
Um,
gems. Can't all be gems.
you know what? First of all, how you doing, Jamie? You doing okay today?
I'm doing as well as can be. I'm just going through a lot. My husband, as you know, is cheating after a wreck and
All right.
stealing.
Okay, Jamie
So
Jane.
it's
And
this is
then,
just so hard.
okay, Jamie Jane, and then Danny, how are you doing today?
I'm doing real good. I was happy I didn't have to see Crystal's ugly leather pants this episode, so I'm good.
I like those damn pants. I didn't think they was ugly.
You would.
Yeah, they would be, I could rock those. Not in Dallas because it's hot as fuck. But nonetheless, before we get into it, make sure you go down and you under the video, you hit the thumbs up to like the video. If you like the video, if you don't like the video, then still like it because, like I say, it's 2021 and we don't need haters. With that being said, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I want to talk about the mid-season trailer first because that's what I feel like that was more entertaining than this episode itself. Um, a couple things are gonna happen this season. Of course, the Sutton and Erica thing happens. She kind of threatens a son, and then basically, I don't know if it's still directed at her, but at the end, she was just like, it's not a threat, it's a promise or whatever. I was like, oh, she talking big cash money shit, especially
Big
for
cash
somebody
shit.
that's like under
Ain't got no
legal,
cash.
ain't got no cash. And under legal eye, it's just like, girl, do you really want to be doing that? Making threats like that, and you already like about to go down with your Alzheimer's husband. But nonetheless, how do we feel about the trailer? Garcelle is gonna have some things to say about Sutton, not Sutton, sorry, Dorit, which is I
Dorito.
think somebody mentioned this recently, so I'm glad to see that's actually true. And then it seems like Garcelle, speaks up a lot more in a very verbal way. Usually she kind of like has a friend of the show voice, I feel like. But coming up soon, it seems like she has a lot to say as it relates to Erica and Dorit. So I'm ready for it. Starting with you, Danny, or Jamie, because Danny, we have seen you this week. Let's give Jamie the floor for a little bit to chit chat, because I'm sure she got a lot to say of nothing. But go ahead, Jamie.
Well, I said this to you guys in our group chat. Like, Sutton really is the MVP, it seems, for part one and part two of the show. She's making up for lost time. She started all the drama in part one. It seems like she's the driving force of drama between pretty much all the ladies in part two. Crystal's taking a little bit of a break. She's not used to it. She tag teamed out, and now it's Erica's time to shine. I love to see it. I love that for once the main ladies, Kyle, and Lisa and them are taking like a back seat, and they really don't have a whole lot of nothing
Yeah.
going on. So I'm very happy about it. Dorit. This in part one and in this trailer seems like she's a friend of the show. Like, Kathy's had more screen time than Dorit.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, to be
Danny?
honest, it seems like Dorit, Kyle, and Lisa are friends of the show this season.
It feels like
And I'm not
everybody's a
mad
friend of
about
the
it.
show, with the exception of Sutton, Crystal, and Erica.
Yep.
Honestly, everybody's kind of
Hmm
like just there supporting. Everybody's there supporting those 2, 3 storylines that's going on. Which clearly in this episode, it seems like the Crystal and Sutton thing goes away or something, right? I don't know. But any
But
final
that's how they've been
thoughts?
all
Seems like a
season.
truce, but
Hmm?
They have like a good
but
day,
I
and then
kind
the
of
next day, Crystal's crying or Sutton's crying. So we'll see.
Hmm.
Maybe next week that
well, no,
Sutton's gonna have another
from what
breakdown.
I've seen, every day was a crying day for Sutton. Now today was like their
Exactly.
first good day to me.
Exactly.
Good for her.
But no, about the mid-season trailer. I kind of agree with everything Jamie said. I think it's interesting to see, like he said, since Kyle and them have taken a back seat, how these seats are going to go at the reunion. Like, because Kyle does not deserve to sit next to Andy.
But you know they
Neither does
are.
Renna.
You know they're gonna put her next to her.
I
They're
know they
gonna put
are,
her
but
there
I'm
anyway.
saying, but they don't. But
I
they're not
don't
where you
think
deserve.
that Sutton may have a better chance of being closer to Andy than Crystal. I feel like.
I agree.
So we'll see.
Crystal and Sutton are going to be on opposite ends because, of course, we love the people yelling at each other. Dorit will probably be seat 3. Lisa will obviously be seat 1 on the second seat. Sutton will probably be sitting next to Kyle. And then it will be Garcelle next to Sutton. And then on the other...
Well, I don't know because her and Kyle seem to go at it too a little bit. So she might be sitting next to Renna and Garcelle.
Yeah.
I mean, she's still living in Kyle's house, so it can't be that big.
Ooh, well, she's paying the rent, so
Okay.
she ain't just staying there for free.
One at that.
She ain't just staying there for free. So I mean, Kyle ain't got that much damn leeway over her because he's paying that. My thoughts about the actual mid-season trailer. It was okay. I am excited to see what happens with, it's probably not gonna be anything big, but seeing Garcelle like cursing and loud, and I want to see that. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like she needs some breakout moments because, I was talking to my friends and I have to agree that honestly, Garcelle is still giving me slight friend of the show. I mean, it's like she's there more, but it's like
it's not slight.
Okay, you're not slight. So she's still giving friend of the show, and I hate that for her because she has so much more to offer. And it may be because she actually has a job, the real and stuff like that. But I need more from her, so hopefully we get more in this upcoming half of the season. But in this episode, the ladies are going to, I'm gonna say Palm Springs. If you know, LA is basically out near Palm Springs, but it's a area called La Quinta, like a vacation like place or whatever. It's basically towards that way. So you have like Indio, which is where Coachella is. You have Palm Desert, Palm Springs. It's over in that area, and that's why she was talking about the windmills.
Okay.
But they're going there. But beforehand, of course, Erica is there. It's a continuation about her life, and obviously we're all pretty tired of hearing about her independence. But the thing that bothered me the most about this episode is that she's acting like she was not a waitress, and she acting like she was a boss at a firm. Okay, she was a waitress. And she served this man some food, and he pulled her out of that lifestyle. And at this point, now she doesn't have him. So it's like she's acting like she has so much to fall back on. And she does it, because if she did, she would not be in this situation. Thoughts? Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I was just like, what are you trying to portray? I mean, like you said, without him, she would be nothing. She wouldn't have even gotten on the show without being married to him.
No, exactly. You have to have money, and that's the money that got her on the show.
She probably would have still been managing the bar he met her at. And that's not a real,
she wasn't even a manager.
I'm just saying that's probably
she wasn't even a manager.
No, I'm saying by now.
She would have got a promotion.
Oh,
good for her. Well, we love an upward movement.
Yeah.
We love upward movement. Good for her.
So but saying,
this is
don't downplay
this is
everything.
Well, but she's done that her entire 6-season run. Like her whole persona is like this stoic bad bitch. Like nothing bothers me. So I'm not surprised to see that in the middle of a crisis, she's still trying to save face. Still trying. Oh no, honey, I'm fine. I'm this. I'm that. But even still, I'm confused because she's dragging us along. Oh, I'm having to shut down my office and my studio for Erica Jane. I'm like, girl, we've been in a pandemic for a year now. You should have shut that shit a long time ago. You still paying rent on that building? You haven't toured since Pride 2019. So
mind you, this is the first season. She hasn't been boring.
Okay, and even still, she's still very calculated. Erica Jane,
still boring.
Erica Jane, she's not dumb. She's not dumb. She is a carefully constructed brand, or so she thinks. And you can see the wheels turning in her head on how she's going to play each scene whenever she comes out. And good for her. This is what these people, this is what you were hired to do.
Yeah.
She's doing what her contract says. She's securing next season because she needs that check.
Yeah. Well,
after the lawsuit, how's life?
We're gonna come back to Erica, because Erica is in the earlier part. She's not there. I was confused about that. They kind of had her moping around the house, her dog shit, and she ain't picking up her dog shit.
Yeah,
Which is
she
something
wasn't.
which is something that I don't do either. I mean, call me a bad Samaritan child. I don't pick up my dog shit either. Sorry, Navy. But it's just funny. She was just like, oh shit, I gotta pick up this shit too. I'm just like, oh girl. But they're at Kyle's vacation rental or whatever in La Quinta, how we pronounce it. And I believe some Blaze stayed. Did some of the girls stay elsewhere, or they all stayed in one place? Because I feel like this is the first time I feel
Garcelle
like
got a hotel. Crystal and Kathy have hotels, right?
But
Because she said she
what was
switched.
Kathy? What luggage was Kathy dragging up the stairs then? What luggage was that?
Kathy was going upstairs. Kathy was staying there with them because she
She
had
was.
a fan and everything.
So
Yeah, she
Crystal and
was.
Garcelle. Well, no, wait, was Garcelle there tonight, or she was coming later?
She wasn't there yet.
That's how boring this episode was. I don't even
They
remember
made
who was
it
in.
they made it seem like Kathy did not want to stay there at first, because I remember Kyle saying like this is not the Waldorf or Astoria or something
Yeah.
like that. And so
That's right.
Right, so I don't know.
So-
I really don't know, but basically Garcelle wasn't there yet.
Garcelle and Crystal got separate accommodations, got
Okay.
hotels. Because Garcelle didn't
Mhm.
want to be around them because they're literally 2 days after COVID cure, and so I wouldn't want to stay there either.
And in this moment, we find out that Crystal and Sutton have been texting. Now, I'm like, I don't know
Which
the
is cool.
time frame in which this little Garcelle's birthday to now, because I mean, she did have a big breakdown, but they're texting. And I'm like, okay, they're talking to each other, but Crystal throws her little shade, and she's just like, I'm still gonna lock my door. As you should. From this point on, lock your damn door, because we don't want nobody else thinking you're doing something weird.
Well, and then Kyle had to get her little dig in too. She said it's all fun and games until she has to return a coat. I'm like,
So
there
you're
goes
freaky.
Kyle. There goes Kyle again, once again.
So
But
Erica,
I wish as much like flashbacks as they show, I wish they would have at least flashed back to like Crystal saying, "Oh, Sutton texted me" or something. Like you spent 9 episodes of you guys at each other's throats, and we couldn't even see like
yeah,
y'all reconciling.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, they were breaking bread. Crystal's offering to top off her glass with wine.
Okay, they were best friends.
You know what? The scene, did y'all see the scene they flashed back with her mom, Sutton's mom? And she was just like,
From last year.
Yeah.
last year, Sutton may be the only person in her family that has the traits that she has. Because her mom, and didn't say shit but facts, her mom was like, listen, it is what it is. This is my relationship, and you have to deal with it. I don't have a relationship. And then even her daughter seems to be
You
a little
don't
bit
miss
more,
him? No.
Right. She's like, no. So Sutton, maybe she has traits of her father or somebody, because between her daughter and her mother, she's nothing like them in terms of how she reacts and responds to things. Go ahead.
The mother and the daughter remind me of Crystal. Very devoid of emotion.
Yeah.
And when I saw that
Yeah.
scene, I was like, this is why Sutton can't take Crystal.
Yeah.
She's having some sort
Yes,
of flashback
so
to
Crystal
her
sets her
childhood.
off.
She can't take it. She can't
Yeah.
take it.
I don't know. I don't remember the scene from last
Crystal
year.
sets her off.
When I saw it, I was like, oh. And then, of course, when Erica gets there, first of all, when she got there, I didn't know if she was trying to cry or sneeze. I was confused.
So dramatic.
I was like, is she trying to
forlorn
sneeze?
steps.
Like, she
I
was
love
like,
it.
I'm like, what's coming out? Is something coming out, Erica? I don't get it. But when she gets there, it's like she's trying to. They go into this whole mentally ill thing, and she goes into the point to where she's saying that she tried to tell people that he needed some help. That's what she said. How do y'all feel about this now? Because these are things after seeing the documentary, right? These are things that we've already heard. So it's like I don't really know.
Yeah.
Are they trying to like? Everything we've seen, then they're starting to mention now, like the Alzheimer's and stuff like that. Like they're starting to mention it now. And so, how do y'all feel about that? Do you feel like she's trying to jump the gun? She's trying to beat the story, or is she trying to really push the narrative that he may be mentally ill? Because I've never heard her say in the past that was the case. At least not for me.
Well, this was filmed what? Back
Yeah.
in January, right? December or January. So
It
it was
probably was
before
January.
all of Yeah. So
Because this was around Christmas, I think.
Yeah, it was around Christmas, or maybe a little bit before Christmas. And so it makes sense, like particularly if they're going to court cases and his attorney announced that they were going to like pursue that, he wants to be mentally evaluated. Remember, Cortez, a couple episodes, you and I talked about that. Like, that's weird that she randomly messages like, he's not doing well, he forgets things, or he can't read or something. And it felt almost like she knew what was being played out or what was being whispered between attorneys. And
Right.
so it's almost like you feel like, okay, is she really driving the narrative? And I hate that because I really like Erica. So I hate that now I'm carefully like looking over everything she's saying. Like, baby, you studied Eileen in the soap operas and you were trying to take that daytime Emmy, because she is literally playing this role of the jilted ex-wife who found out her husband's a villain, like, and running with it.
Well, I think it's what you said earlier. She's very calculated, is what I'm getting from this episode. She's placing every little nugget. It's like a little trail she's making. Every little nugget is being placed strategically.
It's a bad trail.
And if you see, even when she's talking, the funniest face is to see Kathy look at her when she's telling her story. Kathy's like, like, girl, stop lying.
She's like, I don't get any of this.
What do y'all think about Dorit trying to throw in her previous legal issues with PK and was that the tax stuff that she's talking about? Someday? Oh,
I think so. From like 2 years ago.
I think Dorit.
Do you feel like it was relatable?
Yeah, I think
she's
just trying to.
Right. Go ahead.
I think she's trying to defend Erica as a close friend best as she can. I think she was trying to say, I understand how you couldn't know what was going on with your husband's life. I didn't know. She's trying to defend Erica. And
hers is so much different, though.
I didn't have nothing to do with this.
Hers is so much more different because happened
it was before,
and all this happened while she was with him. And I like how Kathy threw in her spiel about, she was saying like when her husband hands her something, she just signs it because she trusts her husband. That's not a good thing to do. I mean, I understand love and I get it, all this stuff like that. That is not smart. You need to read. Not these days. You need to read, and I get it for her. It's her husband has money.
Well, and they probably have a much different relationship too.
Right.
The relationship. So she probably trusts the actual relationship.
Right. I get it.
Kathy's not a wannabe pop star.
She's not, honey. She's not.
So. And Kathy's in California. If he leaves her, she gets half. So.
That's true. California is not a place you want to get divorced.
At all.
Yeah, because it's going to go down. Basement. So moving to like the next biggest scene, I mean, of course, Kyle and her sister showing her relationship. Kyle drops, oregano on the ground, and Kathy, blah, blah. The dinner table where Erica starts this story, so she goes and basically saying like, he ain't basically like there's no money that she's saying like he has no money at this point. Like where is this money that he's supposed to have? He's supposed to have. She thinks this he should get removed from the bar. And then she goes into, of course he isn't well, but the biggest thing was that this car accident that she told everybody about years ago, right? So this car accident is probably the most confusing shit I've ever heard on reality TV in a very long time, because I don't know how you are. You run off a cliff. You're 12 hours unconscious, and then you still cheating while you're 12 hours unconscious. And then I find you, like, I don't know, I don't understand.
That didn't track. I want to hear y'all thoughts. That didn't track.
I want to hear y'all thoughts.
I'm very confused.
Sutton gave the best.
Sutton said, listen,
wait, go ahead, Danny.
Sutton said, this is a movie I don't want to be a part of.
No, I said, Sutton summed it up perfectly. She was like, so you rolled out of a car that you fell out of, that you got dragged out of, that rolled over the hill.
She said, where's the car? I'm like, you know what? Where is the car total? Where is this fucking car? Go ahead.
I'm literally like, because I want to see, I want to believe Erica. So everything that she says, I approach it with like, okay, let's see if this could be plausible. And she just makes it so fucking hard. Like, he was unconscious and I'm the one that found him. Well, how did you find him? He called me after he had gone through the backyard and he was in somewhere in the backyard and he missed this. I was like,
the road went like this. I'm just like, the road went like this and it went down.
We see your house. They're always showing your house. You ain't got nothing in that house that is no mountains. It's a flat fucking surface. So one, your husband was in your backyard for 12 hours.
Your husband is 80-some years old. What the hell? How he gonna get up anything?
Missing for 12 hours and it never occurred to you?
Tom and in California, Tom and Eric are celebrities. A tow truck would have put out there to the Inquirer or something. We had to come tow his car off from a ravine on the property. And he was drunk, or they would have labeled it something like that. That would have made the tabloids or something. So no,
Well,
sorry.
I don't even remember Tom getting, like, the tabloids didn't even mention that Tom got in an accident.
No,
Like if I
That's what I'm
if
saying.
I were to Google right now,
When
there would
stuff
be
happens-
no accident. So I'm thinking,
but you know what?
3
He
years
could have
ago,
covered it up. He could have tried to. I mean, honestly, stuff like that does make it, but they can find a way to make sure it doesn't make the news. They could.
This is true.
Yeah, he used the airline money to pay people off.
Not the
Yeah.
airline money.
Not airline money.
Not the airline money.
That is wrong. That is orphan money.
Also, guys, Kyle's lasagna did not look appetizing.
It was, it was
didn't.
coming out.
It didn't.
Kathy said she can cook. I think that was shade because she knew that we would probably say. And I like how the cameras zoomed in on it because I haven't really. Cal cooked the last trip and this trip too, and it don't look good. Maybe it tastes better than what it looked.
None of her. She burned that ugly ass
Baby.
fish.
She did burn that fish.
It looked
She
like
burned that
you would
fish
be in the
down.
bathroom the next day.
Ooh,
I hope that
It was
house
so
has
wet.
bathrooms.
yeah, it
Look,
wasn't done.
I've had Stouffer's pizza that was more, or Stouffer's lasagna that was more appetizing than what Kyle took out of it.
So yeah, so that should let you know that how this episode was. We're talking about the lasagna.
Okay.
Yeah, this episode was not it. I'm gonna say this. I just don't like Erica. Everything she's saying is making her look really bad. It's not helping. It's not adding up. The math is not mathing. And I think the girls are just being very no, no. They're doing that.
They're being supportive right now, but they're gonna start.
Sutton is
getting together
already in
and talking.
confessionals telling how she feels. So now I see how we get to where we are.
Oh,
Because
for sure.
obviously confessionals are done later, but still, I can't wait until this happens. It seems like Garcelle is going to support her. And at this point, I'm going to be mad at Garcelle because it's like, she got to learn how to, like, I get it. You don't want to, like, be trying to come down on somebody, like, while they're down. But it's like, at the same time, sometimes you got to hold people
But she has to
accountable.
be.
Go ahead.
But she kind of has to. She kind of has to do that because of the way she came at Lisa for going at Denise. You know, she's like support them publicly. So if she went at Erica, she'd be a hypocrite. So I kind of respect that she's being consistent.
She doesn't
in what
have
she
to
says.
go
Yeah.
at Erica. She can just be like, talk to her and be like, listen, are you sure this is everything? Like, come in a better way. You don't have to go at the girl. I don't think.
Well, and remember, they have that conversation. They didn't show it in the mid-season, but at the beginning of the season, they showed that conversation that she has with Erica, saying, "Did you file divorce in order to, like, avoid all of this drama?" Like, she has that convo.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's good. I think that's just Garcelle, and she also went through something similar. Her husband was having a whole affair and doing all kinds of shit behind her back, and she was just blissfully unaware until she found out. So I think she has a soft spot for. She wants to believe that Erica couldn't possibly be as monstrous as Tom is from embezzling millions of dollars from these victims of these horrific accidents. Like she sees the good in Erica. I think she sees the good in everybody because she hasn't been on reality TV that long. Had this happen in her fourth
and
or fifth
also
season,
yeah, it might have been different, but also from that scene where we hear Garcelle saying, "I'm not going to kick her while she's down" and all that. It almost seems like she's just refusing to be part of a planned Ponderosa where they're all going to like gang up on her. Which, if that's what she's doing, I respect that too. Maybe she should hold her accountable one-on-one.
Well, that's why she still like a damn friend of the show. Girl, get your hands dirty. I ain't saying be malicious and be mean, but girl, get in the mess. Like, do something. I feel like at this point, like, it's season 2. Give us something to talk about. I can't just keep saying Garcelle. Like, what am I saying Garcelle about? She's a beautiful woman, but I mean, like, she ain't that fashionable. She don't have no great storyline going on like that. It's just like she's just there, and I want more for her on this big platform. I'm not saying she got to be malicious and messy, but it is a reality TV show. Think a little bit and just get a little more involved. That's what I would want, because right now it's like I don't have to see Garcelle next season, personally.
I think a lot of what's going on with Garcelle, it's difficult to come into a group, one, as a newbie, but two, she didn't hang out with any of those women other than Lisa Rinna. And even with Lisa, she didn't hang out with her. She knew her in passing. So she really was not
now they fell
friends with anybody. Yeah, she wasn't friends with anybody. The only person outside of the show she hangs out with is Sutton. But she just met Sutton last year. So I think she's navigating in a space where you're trying to cultivate relationships, but these pretty much are just co-workers.
Mhm.
Like at this point, the rest of the cast has
And I'm
been together
sorry.
now going on 10 years.
And I'm sorry, Erica's made it this many seasons being boring. Garcelle, they can let her make it.
We
too.
could stick around for Garcelle.
Mhm.
I did love Crystal, like that little naive remark that she made. What did she say? She goes, "This just doesn't make sense. I don't understand. If you're as wealthy as Tom is, why don't you just write a check and make it go away?" I'm like, "Oh, baby, that's because he's not wealthy anymore.
That's because he don't have no checks. That's
He
the
doesn't have
issue.
the money."
These are not his checks.
She's just like, "I don't understand. Write a check."
That privileged child.
We should have had. We
Um,
should have
Okay.
had Garcelle should have had Quad visiting her. To let her know
Lord.
that Tom was
Yes.
beg, borrowing, and stealing.
Bag, borrowing, and
Child.
stealing.
What about Kyle basically saying that she's heard before that Tom has been cheating? But she said, "Oh,
Well,
we hear stuff all the time about people, so I didn't basically trying to cover her ass and be like, that's why I didn't bring it up because it's always rumors about us out there." But do you feel like she should have said something? Do you feel like do you feel like she really had something? She would have said something sooner. I mean, what do you think? Or she just probably? What do you
I think that's also a calculated lie to feed into defending my friend, like to help paint this picture of Tom being the nasty man.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Kyle can't hold
Yeah.
water.
That's true. She
Kyle-
would have said
Kyle would've
something.
been-
Kyle is messy.
Yes.
well, and there's
But they
there's-
always- but
there's
they
been
always-
rumors about.
I want to say they always pussyfoot around Erica. They always have. So
Yeah.
this is typical behavior for them. They always
Yeah.
tiptoe around her.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So
You got a point.
maybe this is just
Yeah.
maybe she did know, and now she. Well, actually, I did hear something that he was cheating. Now that it's out in the air, I'm gonna bring it out. I just feel like
Erica
keep
did
saying
make
it-
kind of a nasty face when she said that.
Yeah, I mean they crucified Denise last year, so I'm sorry. Don't crucify Erica ass, okay? I'm sorry, marriage or not.
No, they definitely pick and choose because Mauricio has had
With their
all of those
biased
rumors
ass.
about him defrauding clients. Mauricio has had multiple lawsuits about it. They don't bring up at all. Like they don't bring it up about Kyle. They brought it up to the person that brought it up with Dorit was who? Vanderpump. Like none of the main girls brought up Dorit's lawsuits or anything. So it's clear that these women have an actual friendship outside of the show. So when they bring stuff up with each other, they know how far to take it. They know how far to bring stuff up.
If LVP was still here, Erica would not be showing up to events.
Oh, at all. Not at all.
LVP would have said some shit.
Absolutely.
I do feel like also another reason is Tom is old. We can't put that to the side. He may not be ill, I don't know, but he is old. He don't have the same brain as Mauricio and the rest of them. They got a little younger brain, so they may be able to get ahead of whatever they got going on. Even PK. So Tom is old. Let's just be clear. He's up there.
And so
I
some of that of what Erica
Tom
says.
also.
Go ahead.
No, I said Tom has also that old man type of appearance that is probably going to play well for him in court. That he's trying to play. You're going to pity him, and he's out of his mind, and he looks
I don't
the
think
part.
so. These lawsuits,
I hope not.
The money that he has stolen is huge. This ain't just no stuff to blow over. I mean, the orphan that damn airplane crash. That's and the PG&E. PG&E in California is huge in the Bay Area. They have had many lawsuits, and so I didn't even I used to work there, so I don't know, Chad. I don't know what kind of mercy they're gonna show him, but he is in a whole heap of trouble, as my grandma would say.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, it's just right now it's just civil. So I mean, he's not in any trouble per se. He isn't going to jail, so which he should. But
the feds got involved. The feds got involved, and the feds are froze his assets.
The
because
case
I think
is
once
building.
it becomes
It's building.
yeah, because once it becomes a certain amount, then it does become beyond civil. I think what the civil portion is those clients can ask for restitution. The federal portion of it and what they froze the assets, they don't give a fuck if those people get their money back. They are looking at prosecuting criminally. So it's multiple shit, and it's a damn mess. Which is, part of me, that's why
maybe
I want to be
gets indicted.
It's a wrap.
They're gonna put that man in behind bars. They're gonna put him in them
for a good year. They're gonna put it for a good year.
Suspended sentence.
Put him up there. Well, right. You said what?
Till when? When are you going to suspend his sentence? He only got a good 6 months left.
No, they'll sentence you. He'll never go to jail.
Okay, he's in worse shape than Cortez is.
That's why it smell. You know, don't it smell like hospital in here, y'all? Over there in this little square over here.
This square right
hospital
here.
right here. You see that square? Don't it smell like hospital over there? Anyway, with that being said, I feel like we've covered everything in this episode. This episode was
More.
boring, okay?
More than
that.
I have to, and more. I have to commit. We have to commit as we can, and so I thank y'all, Danny and Jamie, especially for doing this today because Lord, I almost said no.
Forget it. Look, we were more.
We could have really
entertained
reviewed
than
it
the
next
show.
week together.
Right, we could have
Okay.
gone away, but I was like, child, let me knock it on out. So, that being said, you can find myself, Danny, and Jamie on Instagram, King Daniel, it's Jaime, Jamie, whatever he could go by, child. And then at Stupid Wild Tez. And also at the Lean Blog. We'll be here next week for episode. Well, actually, I think they
take a break for a
They
couple
go come
weeks.
August 4th, is what I just saw on the TV screen.
Yeah.
So, we won't be back for 2 weeks.
Thank
actually.
God. I ain't got to
I
see
know.
y'all for 2 weeks.
I need a break from the hospital smell, honey.
Well, I'll see you Monday.
I hate you.
Yeah, you can always find myself and Danny and others on Potomac, and then Encore with Chad,
Ooh.
Drag Race with Maya.
Oh yeah, the encore
Yeah.
about to come on now.
So with that
Danny
being
said, "Wrap it up. Wrap it up."
Hold up, wrap it up. We're gonna lean out. We see y'all next in 2 weeks for the next episode. Like, subscribe, comment, all things to lean, and we will see y'all later. Y'all have a good rest of y'all Wednesday. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.